Hello, everyone. Welcome to Money Hour Radio, a show where we try to help you grow your money, pay less taxes, and have a beautiful retirement. I am one of your co-hosts, Ben Barzideh. I have my co-host, Matt Nadeau, here with me.
Hi, everyone.
We are both founding partners and wealth managers at Barzideh and Nadeau Wealth Management, a comprehensive financial planning firm located right here in Barrington. And we are fiduciaries. And as an independent family-owned firm, we truly have the freedom to focus solely on your interests, not some corporations or those shady private equity companies that are buying up everything these days.
Yeah, it's like every week, Ben. You never let them off the hook.
No, we got to keep giving it to them.
Yeah, well, we're going to take a minute, like we always do, of course, and say hi to all of our clients who are listening. We really appreciate you and, of course, all of our faithful listeners out there. But to our clients, thank you so much. We, of course, appreciate the trust that you place in us, and we love every one of you. And we have a really good show today. I want to tell you a little bit about what's coming up. You're not going to want to miss it. But first, a lot of people ask us if we're fiduciaries, if we sell commission products. We are fiduciaries, and we do not sell commission products. And one of those are annuities. And we're going to talk about why we do not recommend annuities. We're not pitching annuities like most of the radio shows or seminars out there. You want to hear all about why we don't believe in using them in most cases.
We're about as fond of annuities as we are of private equity. Right?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then we're going to actually do the second half of the show is a really interesting tax topic that most people are unaware of. There are even a lot of CPAs in the past we had to explain this to. They're probably all caught up now, but it's called the pass-through entity tax. So you're going to want to tune in to hear more about that.
Absolutely. It's a big one. Also, if you're listening to us on our YouTube channel right now, please like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free, but it's a huge boost to our channel. You can also please go online on our website at bnwealth.com. We have a great weekly economic newsletter. It's called the 5-Minute Market Brief. It's informative, succinct, easy to read, lets you know exactly what's going on, what we're seeing, what we're thinking. And then also please follow us online on our social media pages, BN Wealth. We're on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Yeah, find us everywhere, but make sure you subscribe, please. All right, let's get into this topic, Ben. Why don't we like annuities? Oh, my goodness. So, generally, I'm going to say this generally, we do not sell or recommend annuities. All right, I should have said it louder. We do not sell or recommend annuities. I can't say it loud enough. And really, in our view, those are very gimmicky. They're packaged insurance products. They're usually recommended by insurance agents or really advisors who came from one of those insurance backgrounds. And guess what out there, radio show listeners? They pay a big, fat commission.
They sure do.
Yeah. So, hey, there's different types of annuities. So, you've got what's called like a straight fixed annuity, all the way to variable annuities. And then really kind of the worst of them all, or maybe unfortunately the most commonly recommended and abused ones, are called fixed equity indexed annuities. And the salesman's always going to make it sound like you're going to make all this money and it's safe and it's guaranteed. And I think we all learned that in life, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true.
No doubt. So the reality is that the money you invest into them, they grow at a snail's pace. And they usually make you stay in them. They lock up your money for a long time, usually maybe 10 to 15 years. And if that wasn't bad enough, they also come with just draconian penalties for getting out early. Again, often in the 10 to 15% penalty range. That means by the time you realize you made a mistake, it is often too late and you are stuck. We see it all the time. And we jokingly actually say it's like marrying a supermodel, these equity index annuities. It's great for the first year, and then all of your problems start. And it costs you a lot of money to get out of it.
Sounds like you have experience there, Ben.
Gosh, we see so many of these things. By the way, the reason it costs you so much to get out of it in penalties is that the insurance company, when you bought it, paid a big fat commission up front to the salesman selling it, a commission of sometimes 10% or more. So that means if you invested $1 million into an equity index annuity, get this, the advisor would get $100,000 commission. 100,000 all at once. It's like, say what? So you can see why the internet is just filled with cases of fraud and abuse with them. almost always targeted, unfortunately, towards retirees and seniors who fall for the bells and whistles and the smooth talking salesman promising them, the moon and the stars and everything else if they invest in one.
Yeah. And let's really talk about what one of these equity index annuities are. I really want you to just step back out and think about this as a glorified CD. All right. So now your expectation should be a CD, glorified. There's nothing to manage with it. So you, as the investor, you're going to get a rate of interest in them each year, just like a CD. Now, it's not as clean as a CD. It's always got some gimmicky formulas. You probably need to be like a big math professor or a nerd like me to understand them. So here's the sales pitch. You're going to hear from a salesperson or an annuity sales pitch from them. They're going to say, Mr. and Mrs. Client, gosh, I've got a great product for you. Guess what? It makes money no matter what happens in the stock market. If the market goes up, you're going to actually capture some of that growth. Now, it's going to be capped at a certain percentage. And if the market goes down, you're not going to lose anything and you still get some interest. You can't lose. All right, guys, the reality is these gimmicky formulas, these caps, the things they put in them, they're designed so that over a period of time, you're going to average, maybe 2 to 3% growth each year after fees, no matter how good or bad the market does. It's basically running on cruise control. And since there's no investment portfolio to manage, it frees up time for the person selling them to get out there and market some more and try to find a few more suckers out there to sell them to.
And get another big fat commission.
Not suckers, unfortunate people. A lot of people who buy them actually don't know the differences. They are misled and so missold these.
Great point. So here's another analogy. We're big on analogies on this show. So here's another one. So we want to describe the equity index annuities. I sometimes we call them a TV dinner. Like if someone's asking me, what do you think of annuities? I say, they're like a TV dinner. Here's what we mean. So imagine you're sitting at home. Me and my wife do this a lot. We're watching the Food Network. And they have one of those cooking contests with the various top chefs participating. And each chef is cooking up the best dish that they have with the most exquisite ingredients and flavors. Well, imagine if one of those chefs brought a TV dinner to the contest and basically just opened up a microwave, threw it in there, hit the button, and when the buzzer sounds, he takes it out and shows it off, acting like it's one of those mic drop moments, like just crushed it. That's how you cook, where he's kind of walking around like Conor McGregor doing the billionaire walk, the Billy walk, where he swings his arms from side to side, strutting all around. Literally, that's how ridiculous and silly they look to us when they talk about annuities and how they're just the best thing ever.
This is why you need to go to our YouTube channel. You could see Ben trying to swing his arms like the billionaire walk. Listen, by the way, when you are one of these salesmen doing equity index annuities, you just need an insurance license. You basically can take like a quick, week-long course, and it's pretty easy to pass, and bam, now you're an advisor. It's one of the reasons they're so abused. And actually, a lot of these salespeople, they're not doing this on purpose. Many are genuine, they don't know the difference. They don't know any better. They're not trying to abuse you. That's just how they've been trained. It's like if the only tool you have is a hammer, then every solution to a problem involves a nail. But that's if you're looking for an advisor, this should be one of your questions and red flags. If they're selling you annuities, you may want to double check and make sure that it really is right for you and are they properly licensed. Now, listen, there's other annuities. There's variable annuities. They may not be as bad in our view because they're like a normal portfolio. They've got mutual fund type of investments and sub accounts. They do have extra fees and they can be higher priced insurance guarantees you don't need, and there's higher fees. But in some unique circumstances, that can be recommended for tax or estate planning purposes. But these variable annuities that we would typically use are designed to have low fees and for RIAs like us that understand dynamic portfolio management.
And also, we feel we have a much better solution and approach for striking the right balance between opportunity for upside stock market growth and downside protection if the market starts to go downhill. And we're referring to our flagship way of investing our portfolios for our clients, which is our actively managed, advanced and protect tactical strategies, where we monitor our investments every single day, and we actually sell out of the market when the risk of a crash gets too high and our research is warning us. So where can you learn more about this? Well, guess what? we have a big news announcement. We have a seminar, a dinner workshop coming up on January 29th at a very fancy steakhouse. We're going to bribe you with a delicious steak, but we're going to go over taxes. We're going to go over investments. We're going to go over estate planning, all of the new big tax law changes in 2026 that are going to affect retirees. You want to come to this, go to our website at bnwealth.com to sign up for that, or call our office at 847-780-2980. All right, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to talk about the pass-through entity tax.
Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. This is Money Hour Radio, where we try and help you grow your money, pay less taxes, and have a beautiful retirement. And I'm one of your hosts, Matt Nadeau. I, of course, have with me my esteemed co-host and partner, Ben Barzideh.
Hello, everyone.
And we're both founding partners and wealth managers at Barzideh and Nadeau Wealth Management. We're an independent, local, and comprehensive financial planning firm. We're located right here in Barrington and serving the greater Chicagoland area. And we have a very simple motto, which is do great work, have fun, and give back. And of course, that's why we've started the charitable arm of our company, and it's called BN Giving. And it's a way for us to invest in your purpose with you.
Here's what we mean. If you become one of our clients and you're a faithful tither or a giver to a qualified 501c3 charity, just let us know. Each year, we will match your donation up to 10% of the management fee that you pay us. And as our firm grows, so does the collective positive impact that we can have together. It's such a neat concept. We're very proud of it. We have actually a fantastic 10-minute video on our YouTube page on moneyhourradio.com, and it's titled The 6 Best Ways to Give to Your Church or Charity. And if you are part of a church or another charitable organization, you should watch that. And if you want to learn more about tax-efficient giving, we'd love to connect. Our team offers complimentary educational options on tax giving strategies that allow donors to maximize tax deductions, while the church or charity actually ends up getting more than they would have otherwise. So it's good for the donor, it's good for the charity. The only one that gets less is the IRS. It's not good for them, but no one cares about the IRS, right?
Yeah, who cares about them?
By the way, if you're not a regular giver, that's okay too. Most people aren't. We'd still be honored to work with you, of course. But to explore how you can join our BN giving community by becoming a client, reach out to us at bnwealth.com or call our office at 847-780-2980.
All right. Well, we love talking about saving taxes, and that's one of the reasons we talk about charitable giving. A lot of you out there who are in retirement have qualified charitable distributions and other tax benefits that we love helping you with. We're going to tell you about an upcoming workshop that we have coming up later in the show. Stay tuned in. We're going to give you a way where you can learn about all these new tax laws. But right now, we're going to talk about one specific tax law that many of you may not have heard of. It's called the pass-through entity tax, the PTE tax. It's one of the only loopholes Congress accidentally let you keep. So we're going to try to blow your mind one more time with another tax reduction idea that you've probably not heard of unless you're a tax nerd like us.
Sure.
So we're not going to brag or anything, but, we've been told by other radio listeners that have listened to us throughout the years that these tax and investment concepts we discuss are really second to none, stuff they haven't heard before on the radio or even from their advisors. Last week, for example, we discussed a defined benefit pension plan that lets business owners potentially stash away $150,000, maybe up to $300,000 each year in tax-deferred company plan. Amazing. Had you heard of that before?
Probably not, unless, again, you're a tax nerd like us.
Right. Go to our YouTube page if you want to see that one. It's great. And now we've got another one for you. It's equally powerful. It's seldom known about. Again, I'm going to ask you a question, especially if you're a business owner, some kind of small business company owner, and you're listening. Have you ever heard of the pass-through entity tax?
Probably not again. Yes. So most people hadn't. Maybe they've come around to over the years of learning about it, but for a while there was hardly anyone that knew about it. But that's why you listen to us, because we have a very smart, curious listening audience base, and including many business owners like us. So we take great pride in trying to help you grow your money and cut your taxes. So guess what? We have another doozy for you, friends in Radio Land. And what we're about to share with you is something we found out about years ago, around maybe 2018, late 2018 or maybe early 2019, back when few people had even heard about this, including most CPAs. And we started talking to our clients about it, and many of them didn't believe it at first. They said things like, well, if this was the case, how come my CPA didn't tell me about it? Well, in all fairness to your CPA folks, this was a very new update in the tax law, and most had not gotten around to hearing about it yet. How we actually found out about this was through a coaching school that we would attend a few times a year. This was a multiple day conference where we would pay a lot of money to attend and be among other top dedicated advisors, peers of ours looking to hone our financial planning knowledge. We would have sometimes one of the best CPAs in the country, one of the best estate planning attorneys in the country. They would come and discuss all these tax law changes. And that's where we heard about this.
Yeah, and it's important if you're going to be a fiduciary and a professional like us that you stay in tune with these changes. And that's why we bring it to you. And now let's talk about what this PTE tax is. This was actually created back when Congress slapped a $10,000 cap on state and local tax deductions back in 2017. Now, this was intended to reduce the federal tax benefits given to states with high state income and property taxes. And business owners everywhere were like, I'm sorry, what do you mean a cap?
Say
Do you
what?
know how much taxes I already pay? Business owners, especially the high income ones, responded the way anybody would, screaming, punching their pillow. All right. Actually, maybe immediately calling their CPA. But here's the thing. Business owners were not going to take that lying down. And the states most negatively impacted by this fought back. And they enacted what's called the PTE tax. It's a clever workaround that lets partnerships, S corps, LLCs, they can pay their state taxes at the entity or the company level instead of paying it on your own individual tax return, your individual level. So why does this even matter if you're paying it one way or another? If you pay it out of the entity or business level, businesses can deduct those taxes fully. Now, individuals, they were still stuck with that $10,000 cap.
It's amazing. It's so powerful. And by shifting the tax burden to the entity or company, what happens is the business deducts the full state tax payment as ordinary business expense. The owner receives a credit or income exclusion under a state return, and the federal deduction bypasses the individual state and local tax cap entirely. And this mechanism became popular because the IRS confirmed its validity in 2020, and more than 30 states now have since adopted some type of this pass-through entity tax. And here's what's powerful. Number one, it can save you some serious money. So owners in high tax states often can save thousands, tens of thousands. A lot of times that's enough for a vacation, a new espresso machine, therapy, after dealing with all the taxes you gotta pay, whatever. Number two, it's flexible. Most states let you opt in and out each year if you need to. And what happened, number three, as we said earlier, the IRS basically said, fine, whatever. 2020, IRS officially blessed this structure. And when the IRS approves a workaround, you know it's legit, right?
Yeah, it was one of those times I just shrugged, like, whatever, let's let them roll with it. So there are some drawbacks and limitations. First, there's state by state complexity. So each state's going to have its own rules, rates, deadlines, credit mechanisms. There's also issues if you're like a multi-state business, because now you have these administrative burdens, maybe potential mismatches in credits, and not all owners benefit equally. So for example, some states may restrict eligibility or offer credits that aren't going to fully offset the entity level tax, which could reduce the net benefit.
And then number three, federal interactions can be a little complicated. So while the deduction is allowed federally, interactions with other provisions such as the 199A qualified business income deduction, the 20% QBI deduction, that can create planning challenges slightly. For example, like recent federal proposals maintain the 20% QBI deduction, but impose new limitations on business losses for these pass-through owners, so it can get a little tricky. Also, number four, you gotta have some cash flow considerations to think about. Paying taxes on the entity level may require businesses to remit taxes earlier, or a lot of times in larger amounts than the owners would when you're paying it individually. So you got to be making some good money to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's even with those drawbacks and limitations, it can be an amazing opportunity for the right business or person. And we really need to focus 2026 major tax updates. One, the SALT cap's now increasing to $40,000. So that is a big change from 10,000. It does reduce the benefit, but does not eliminate the benefit of these PTE elections. And there is continued federal scrutiny for moving forward. So these changes may affect planning strategies for partnerships and S corps.
There's some state revisions, some other minor tweaks. There's some inflation adjusted business tax parameters to think about. We don't want to get too caught up in the details, but bottom line, this is a way where you can pay your state income taxes through your company and basically get a deduction for all of it. So it's a very powerful tax strategy. Now, where can you learn more about these type of strategies? Well, guess what? We have a workshop coming up, a dinner seminar workshop at a very fancy country club on January 29th from 6 to 8 o'clock. We're going to go over taxes, all of the changes that you need to be aware of as a retiree, estate planning law changes. We're going to talk about our advance and protect actively managed portfolios, the way we manage risk in a portfolio. We're going to give you our economic update, what areas we like in the market right now, what we don't, our outlook for this year. But it's a great way for you to understand if your plan is on track or not. So give us a call at 847-780-2980 or go to bnwealth.com to register. All right, we are out of time. God bless you. We'll see you next week.